Hey Rod Travelers, this quick video is about complaining to an airlines. Recently I took a couple of flights on Delta Airlines. Of course they were free flights. I used my points or my miles to get the flight. In fact, it was a really inexpensive flight. It was only 9,500 miles all the way from LAX to Montreal, Canada. So I took the flight last week. The first flight, it was actually a connection. There was a connection in JFK in New York. And I only had a 1 hour layover in New York. So I got on the first flight and everything seemed to be fine. And then the pilot came on the PA and said that there was some kind of an issue with one of the engines and that we had to return to the gate. We actually had left the gate area and we had to return to the gate. We did return to the gate, and then there was a series of announcements and things, but they didn't really keep me up to date of what exactly was happening or how long it's going to take. And in the end, it took well over 60 minutes before we were back and going back towards the runway to take off. So there, I was a little concerned because my layover was just 1 hour and we were over an hour late. So I talked to a flight attendant and she said, well, there's a chance you still could make your original connection. And she said, if you don't, you can always get on another flight. They'll put you on a different flight. But my concern was I had someone waiting for me to pick me up when I arrive, and I wanted them to know if I'd be making the original flight or not. And they didn't really give me a good, clear answer one way or the other. So it was a little disappointing. And then the second flight, I actually made it. I got there with around 10 or 15 minutes to spare, and luckily the gates were pretty close to each other, so I got to the other flight, got on it, and we kind of sat at the gate for a while, and then finally the pilot got on the PA and he said that there was some kind of a problem with some kind of a rope that was attached to the door or something like that, and said it shouldn't be more than a few minutes. And the few minutes turned into about an hour and 20 minutes. And they did kind of keep us up to date, but not really telling us what's going on and why are we being delayed or anything. So I was a little disappointed. And when I finally arrived in my destination, I went onto the Delta website, which you see here, and I clicked on this link which says comment complaint. And this is something I suggest everybody who has issues like I just had do. And you just click on the category, which they go through all these different possibilities: reservation, check-in, technical assistance, login assistance, Skymiles, baggage, Delta Sky Club, donations, and sponsorships, past travel, complaint, compliment, or complaint. So that's what I chose. I chose the complaint, and it was a complaint, and the subcategory was flight disruption, delay. And then you just click on next, and it leads you through all these different questions. You put in your information, you tell them what happened, and a few days later you will probably get an email. And I'm going to put the reply email I got from the original email was just to confirm that they received the complaint. Then they sent me another follow-up email after that, and I'll put that in this video at the very end, and you can read what they actually wrote. And in the end, they decided to give me back 4,000 of the miles that I used on my flight. I used 9,500, and they gave me back 4,000. So my trip cost me only 5,500 miles, which was nice. And so I suggest if you do have an issue with your flight, and you do, whether you use miles or whether you use money, it doesn't hurt to tell the airlines about it, tell them what happened, don't exaggerate, tell them the truth, tell them what actually happened, what you felt about it, and you too might get some kind of a compensation for it. So that was a nice little compensation, 4,000 miles, and I hope we'll see you soon on another flight.